rejection to the downside, really challenging our bullish zone up here. So it does look like we may have the possibility to break down. We do have some contraction in the directional volatility. Our Stokes is pointed down on the 4-hour. We are contracting on the directionless volatility. We do have our oscillators pointing down on the 4-hour. MACD is obviously crossed to the downside on the 4-hour. We have bearish divergence on the 4-hour. Money flow turned down. So lots of things headed against us coming into this new day. And I also see that we are printing or have printed a kind of a head and shoulders here. Not sure if this is going to be more of a kind of a cup and handle with a little bit of a deeper move, or more of just, or if this was just a retest and the head and shoulders is actually just following through with this little bit more shallow move. But either way, the measured move is into or even possibly beyond our support, but still within the supportive zone. Just really challenging some of these indicators. So if we do head down to 21,500-ish, we are going to be in pretty good danger of just continuing to break down. So, watch your stop losses here. Not really seeing any reason why we should bounce per se. Uh, Stokes on the daily is still turned up. We are getting pretty rounded on the oscillators on the daily, coming down on the RSI. Stoke freshly turned down on the 12-hour. So overall, we are seeing potentially that bearish condition that I was suggesting could be printed on the charts, as we did call 24,000 would be a likely rejection zone. Called that on Tuesday night, and then Wednesday, obviously, we got the rejection, and now there seems to be some follow through. Not sure where the floor is going to come on this one. If we do end up breaking back down into our channel here, then perhaps we could get as low as just say 20,000 and still be outside of this diagonal channel, this 4-month diagonal channel. But if we go below 20,000, and depending how fast we fall, maybe I would even say 20,000, I don't know, 600, 20,700. If we get below those numbers, we are going to re-enter that 4-month downward channel, which maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe we still have some support here around 19,000, perhaps 700. But getting back in that channel, with the threat of the Federal Reserve perhaps pushing interest rates up to 100 basis points wouldn't necessarily be a good thing. The markets may just decide that, if they're too bullish, maybe the Federal Reserve really is going to increase 100 basis points. So maybe the market as a whole is deciding to pull back. We'll find out. We're not even at that level yet, but being too bullish going into a Federal Reserve meeting, like if we had just been pumping entering a Federal Reserve meeting next week, then the Federal Reserve might feel very pressured to increase interest rates quite strongly. So having a pullback for the next week, at least until the FOMC meetings are over and Jerome Powell gives his statement about what the new interest rates will be. Maybe it's not such a bad thing. Maybe in some sideways way, that's actually the best outcome for the market. But just hang on to your hats today. Make sure that you've taken your profits if you haven't taken your profits yet. And you may want to update your stop losses. Of course, I mentioned all of this stuff Tuesday night, and so it is Thursday morning now. But looking a little bit bearish into the new day. Are any pre-markets open? Yeah, pre-markets are open and they are lower. A bit lower there. Lower on the S&P as well. Not sure if this is just going to retest the breakout or if this is actually going to break down, back into the wedges or formations that they have below them. But yeah, just look out below. There is a little bit of a U-turn coming up here. And the markets may just want to be not too exuberant going into a Federal Reserve meeting week next week. That's just a 5-minute update. Probably just going to dump this one online. It's pretty early in the morning. And that's our alpha. Stay safe and happy trading.